What's up, guys? This is Famous Criminals. Now, I have never done an interview before, but a lot of my subscribers want me to make longer videos, so I reached out to Shady Jeff. This is his YouTube channel, by the way. Now, who is this guy? He was a member of Hollywood Undead. He was friends with Jeffree Star, Tila Tequila, and Tom from Myspace. This guy, we talked about all of it, and I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know if you want me to do more interviews. I'm out. What's up, everybody? We got Shady Jeff here, otherwise known as Jeff the Libertarian. He was the screamer for Hollywood Undead in their early days, and currently he is an advocate for cryptocurrency. Now, people use crypto to buy steroids from Russia or drugs in general, but recently crypto has become the main currency for El Salvador and Hollywood Undead, one of my favorite bands of all time. I mean, I grew up listening to new metal, bands like Linkin Park, Hollywood Undead. It's kind of like if Linkin Park made party music. I mean, would you agree with that?
I, I guess, yeah. I guess that's kind of what they ended up sounding like. But yeah, I would agree.
Stuff. So, like, how do you feel like, being
Y-
like early into like social media and being like a part of that?
Yeah, I mean, we called it being a MySpace celebrity back then, but we weren't influencers yet. It was goofy times, man. It was a lot of fun. I don't remember much of it because it was so much fun, but yeah, that was it was pretty interesting, and being a part of like MySpace music and like Tom. Um, Tom and I did a bunch of interviews. Tom had me do a bunch of interviews with him, kind of explaining how a band could get big online, like when it was unheard of, because we were like the first band to get on a major label without actually playing a show and just making a couple songs and putting them on the internet. So it was a pretty big deal at the time. Obviously, now that's how everything is done. But back then it was very unique, and it was really cool to be a part of that. That whole change in how the music industry works, and all that kind of stuff.
I don't know
Yeah,
that
Tom
whole.
was a pretty chill dude. He lived in like a average apartment and had like an older Jaguar and just like wore normal clothes. Just a super normal dude. Um, he knew Facebook was coming. That was a weird thing. Me and the boys went down to MySpace one day and met with them, and he told us about Facebook probably like 2 years ahead of time, and he knew that Facebook was going to come swallow him up. But yeah, that was like social media light. That was like version 1.0 of social media, and it was a lot more fun back then. That's for sure. You could get away with a lot more, and it was just a completely different like headspace back in the day with MySpace than it is now with Facebook. Facebook is like very regulated, and you can't really do much on it. People got their pages taken away, that's for sure. But you had to do a lot of you had to do something really dumb, like dox people, and like I remember my buddy Evan Thomas 750. He was huge earlier on MySpace, and he got his page taken away, and he was like destroyed over it. It was pretty funny.
So let me interrupt this interview really quick. My microphone was glitching, so you couldn't hear what I said, but I asked him about his relationship with Jeffree Star, who would later on become super successful.
Yeah, I knew Jeff from the club scene in Hollywood. He stuck out a lot. So you'd see him a lot, and then he was always really cool. Um, and then he was really big for his makeup or whatever he was doing at the time. And like I just saw the opportunity when Hollywood Undead started. I was like, hey, maybe we can like jack all this guy's fans, by allowing or by doing a song with Jeff. And everybody was super against it at the beginning, but then when they realized like he had like the third biggest profile on MySpace, I think, and it only made sense at the time, to reach out to the people that we knew that had big platforms. It was very early on, like no one was doing stuff like this, but it was very obvious, when I started promoting Hollywood Undead, that I needed to like take advantage of my friends who were like, from first to last, and Jeffree Star and Helix Tequila and like all these characters on MySpace that I knew, just from like hanging out in Hollywood. It was somehow a weird melting pot in Hollywood of like MySpace people.
So excuse the audio, it was actually from my end. I actually just got a new recording device, so I won't have this issue in the future. But I asked Jeff about the Church of Scientology and if Hollywood Undead ever tried to recruit him.
Oh yeah, no, that's a major part of the reason why I left the band. I had already had several run-ins with Scientology before I ended up doing that band, but then it was like, oh, I'm in a band with 6 Scientologists. It just like kind of was like destined not to work out for me.
So just a reminder, when he's saying Sonny, he's talking about Skrillex.
Even Bridge were cool. Sonny's parents are great people, very nice. They took care of all kinds of Sonny's friends back in the day. But yeah, they're Scientologists. Sonny's gotten, he's gotten a lot of support from the church, and it's cool. I mean, whatever. It's not my thing. But yeah, that's always kind of been a controversy about HUs, because they never. Because when I left the band, I was like, I told everyone they were Scientologists, and they didn't want anyone to know all of the bad hype around Scientology. But yeah, they definitely are. Not all of them. I think Dylan might not be, but I'm not. They gave like a lot of their money from our first record deal to the church, which was wild.
Wait, so they gave their money from the first record deal back?
A percentage, yeah. It's like if you're a Scientologist, it's customary if you come across any money to give like 20% to the church or something like that.
So I went on about how the Church of Scientology is sort of like the Illuminati. They have powerful connections, and then Jeff mentioned that they have their own security.
They have security. They have a security force that drives around town and does whatever they'll like. Like if you start, they call them courses. Like you're supposed to like take courses to like gain knowledge and go up the like chain of Scientology. So you gotta take these courses, and if you like take half a course and you don't finish it, they'll like send security to your house, and they'll like pick you up and be like, hey, you're going to the church to finish the course, and they're like very pushy about it. And yeah, no, they're I worked for this company once, and they were Scientologists, and they were like trying to promote me, but they wouldn't promote me unless I joined. And they'd send me like handwritten letters and stuff. Like they use a lot of peer pressure and like influence psychology stuff. But like talking to Sonny about it, like a lot of those dudes are totally in denial. They're like, oh, Scientology's everything. But like I talked to Sonny about it, he was like, I told him what I'd been through. I had several kind of like traumatic situations with Scientology. And I explained it to Sonny, and Sonny like apologized and was like that, like there's some real assholes running the church, but like
Okay, so from this point on, the audio actually got a lot better because I put my microphone on. So I'm gonna upload the first part to my backup channel because it's a little bit glitchy. I don't want to piss off my subscribers. And I'll upload the second part with the good audio on my main channel, so look out for that.